gentlemen, you've all come a long way to be here tonight, and we say
everything's corrupt, everything's fucked up, everything's about to fuck this shit out of luck. Everything's a scam.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to In the Rotation, episode 90, Gas Station Salsa, right here on Spreaker.com. And we are now, as of tonight, episode 90, we are live on YouTube. You can watch us live on YouTube. All of our pretty faces, you can watch us. Let me introduce everyone one by one. I am your host, Ben Jordan, along with my co-host, Vito Tomaselli. You can see him there wearing the ICP jersey. Across the table from him is our other co-host, Brandon Tomaselli. Brandon, say hello to everybody.
Hello, hello.
Yes, Ben Jordan?
Whoa.
Yes, restarting on the music, huh?
No, what do you mean restarting on the music?
I can hear.
This is going great.
Is it already screwed up? Just shut the music down.
Fuck you, it's technical difficulty.
Yeah, right. How about now? Ben Jordan, how
I'm
about...
hearing myself.
Difficulties. That's right. Fuck you. It's me. Technical difficulties.
I'd be willing to bet $1.5 million that it's Texas Internet.
It's that Rick Perry God, Country, and Religion out there.
Yeah. God's just not allowing this to happen tonight for you, Ben.
Yeah, Ben, sorry. The God of Texas refuses.
No, I figured it out. It wasn't Texas Internet. It was I had clicked the YouTube link to see what was going to happen, and it loaded up and it started playing in my ears
you asshole.
what I was already saying.
Radio 101.
Yeah.
Hang up on yourself,
Yeah.
Ben. Ben, hang up on yourself.
I know I should, right? I know.
By the way, if you're watching the video right now, Ben is live from Beirut.
Yeah, I'm out live in Iraq, everyone. Thank you.
And
All right, let me try this again. We are live on YouTube. You can watch us. I am your host, Ben Jordan. You can see my name down there at the bottom of my screen. In the Rotation studio back in Illinois, you got Vito Tomaselli, the co-host of the show. You got Brandon Tomaselli across the table from him. Our in-studio guest this week, Mike Webb. Welcome, Mike Webb. Wrestling know-it-all, as it says right there.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes. And then, of course, in the dark, deep reaches of southern Illinois, or southern Chicago, I should say, the southern suburbs, if you will, Professor Mike Brooks, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
Hello, everybody.
We'll have Bullshitting with Brooks coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll have Paulie's Perceived History coming up later on in the show. We will probably be hearing from Storm Maverick, I would imagine.
Yeah, and Mike Phillips. Live.
Mike Phillips. I can't wait. I'm a big fan of Mike Phillips, the funniest man on Facebook, without question. The guy all day long comes up with gem after gem after gem.
Where does he come up with these? This is like a coffee table book, right? There's no way.
He has to have like one of those on his desk. You know those calendars where you rip off like each day, and it's got like yes, it has to be one of those.
Because there's no way he posts 50 things a day.
At least. All
pure genius comedy.
Funny as hell. He shares the funniest pictures. Like, they're mostly about bacon. It's great. I love it. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Mike Phillips later on in the show. Anybody else I don't know about coming on tonight?
I think that's it. But we definitely are going to have Mike Webb does want to talk today about a few different topics.
Well, you want to turn over the floor? Let him go.
We were going to fire it off, but we have to make an agreement because Mike will get aggressive, we get aggressive, right? We're all opinionated. What? With no hurt feelings. Fair enough?
Yeah, I agree.
I have to say it ahead of time because I feel better about that. So, Mike, take it away.
Basically, here's what it is in a nutshell. I am not a politician. I have no aspirations of ever being a politician. I am not one of those weird-ass pundits that you see where there's 8 to 12 of them on CNN or MSNBC or Fox who speak about whatever their thoughts are on politics. I'm not a politician. I'm more dangerous than they are because I'm educated and I work in the retail business.
So give us your education background. How are you educated?
I just graduated high school. I tried some college, and I didn't ever succeed at that. That wasn't for me.
Okay.
That was not for me. On my mother's deathbed, she said, go be happy, find something you love. And I said, then I'm going to stick with wrestling, and I'm not going to be a U.S. history teacher. I am not a U.S. history teacher. I work in retail. I make $8.25 an hour. I work 30 hours a week because the multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that I work for refuses to give me 40 hours, and the rest of the people I work with 40 hours because if they did that, they'd have to pay for our insurance, and they don't want to do that. They want to be like regular politicians. They want to wear their suits. They want to ride in the nice cars, eat at the great restaurants, fly in the fancy planes, and do nothing all day. I can understand that. I would like to do that myself. I'm not in the position to do that, but I figure since I've been in my industry for 20 years, I should get paid for my knowledge, for my hard work, for my education, for my ability. And turns out that what's really popular amongst people who are trying to get back into the workforce right now is it's called a employer's market. And basically their whole catchphrase right now is the take it or leave it method. I'm going to pay you this, take it or leave it, because if you don't take it, there's somebody out there that's willing.
Shit, Sherlock.
I was one of those willing people. Thanks, Vito. And I still am.
Go on. We're listening.
Okay, well, I want to talk about fair wages. You see, in June 1938, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed the FLSA bill, which stands for Fair Labor Standards Act, making it illegal for children under the age of 16 to work and guaranteeing every working adult over the age of 16. See, back then, you were an adult if you were 16. But the promise that he made the United States citizens were 25 cents per hour and 40 cents for every hour over 40. In October 1938, by an 80 to 20 margin, that bill became effective.
Now, why did they have to make this bill at this time? Why was this important? Were people not getting fair wages?
No, the problem is that you were having adults who were owning, for lack of a better term, sweatshops. They were paying 10 and 12-year-olds like 8 cents and 6 cents and 12 cents an hour. You can actually look this.
Sounds like Malaysia.
There were right, but it wasn't Malaysia. It was here in the United States. So what happened was, and just to give you an idea about how amazing our government is, because I don't think very highly of our government, in 1960, minimum wage was a staggering, I'm talking about monumental, and I'm being sarcastic when I say that, $1.15 an hour. It was only a 90-cent increase in 22 years. Wow, thank you, government. Thank you, I appreciate that. Now, I tell you that story to tell you this one. In 1985, my oldest brother got his first paying job. He was going to come home with $3.35 an hour. My papa, my grandfather at the time, was no longer with us.
What's his name? What is
my grandfather was no longer with us. He's passed away. I called him Papa because that's Italian. And my family would call him Papa. I had a Papa and I had a Nana. But he laughed at my brother, and he said, and I quote, I was making $3.35 an hour in 1948 when my mother, he says your mother at the time, was 3 years old. At the time, he owned a 5 and dime on Milwaukee Avenue in Mundelein, Illinois.
Franklin Trapezzano.
That's right. Thank you, Vito.
I was trying to set you up to put him over.
That's his real name.
I can't believe that just happened.
Mike, it just happened. I mean, this is ITR. This is ITR Live.
This is legendary.
In 2013, the U.S. national average of minimum wage was $9 an hour. Illinois, the state I live in, however, was still $8.25 at $8.25, 75 cents lower than the national average. Illinois, the 5th most expensive state to live in. In 2012, the good citizens of Illinois petitioned Governor Pat Quinn to up minimum wage from $8.25 to $10 an hour. Pat Quinn shot it down because the surrounding states panicked, knowing that if Governor Quinn allowed the people of Illinois to get $10 an hour, the surrounding states. I'm sorry, say that again.
Well, you have to clarify because there's a difference.
What's the difference?
I'm asking you.
Oh, the surrounding states.
No, he's asking himself.
Because what would happen is they would leave on the border of Illinois. They would leave their respective states. They would come into Illinois. They would get that $10 an hour. They would go back home. It happens a lot.
Makes more sense.
A lot of people I know who live in Wisconsin come to Illinois to work because it's cheaper to live in Wisconsin. So you make more money here and then go back there because apparently the American dream is a bad thing for people who graduated high school.
$1,500. What a lame fucking fish she was.
I believe I recognize my voice on that.
Who was that girl who was Miss whatever state she was that got $1,500? What a lame fucking fish she was.
You know, Doc Brown would be having a shit fit right now.
Marty, get soups!
How's it happening? Okay. Anyways.
I don't want to keep on what I was telling you was that.
So I guess what's the biggest gripe here? Like in a nutshell, you think you should be paid way more than what you're being paid for minimum wage? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. How much? Like, what is? If you woke up tomorrow and you heard this, you would be like, finally, I got what I wanted.
No,
give me the dollar
that's
amount.
not fair because I'm far advanced in what I've been doing. I've been doing retail for 20 years. I started out at the age of 15. I am now almost 30.
Let me ask you something about retail because I used to work retail.
Sure. I used to work retail.
I remember when
Who
you
hasn't worked retail?
Right. So let me ask you a question about retail.
See, growing up, our parents tell you to find something you're good at, or something you like, and become good at it. So I became good at retail. Then I was told after I graduated high school, find something that you're great at and make a career out of it. For me, it's retail. It's dealing with the general public. It's helping them find simple things. No, it's called minimum wage for a reason, because it takes minimal brain. It takes minimal thought. It takes minimal effort. So I can take, if you need to find out where the...
Minimal qualifications.
Minimal qualifications, thank you. If you need to find out where the saline solution is and you don't know, and I happen to know, I'm not like the other people I work with. I'm not knocking them, but they'll tell you that it's an aisle 16 at the top-hand shelf or the right-hand side. I don't do that. I will actually show you where it is because I give a damn about what I do.
But let me ask you a question. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Sure, by all means. I would expect nothing less.
Are they smarter than you, though? Because they're going to make the same amount, so fuck that guy. It's down on aisle 16. It's up at the top shelf.
I don't think they're smarter than me. What I think they are is lazy.
Well, lazy, whatever.
I think that.
But when you have a job,
people are lazy because they're like, hey, if you're paying me $8.25, I'm just going to do $8.25 an hour worth of work. The reason I get more hours than everybody else in the company that I work for is because when I work till midnight, I'm still there at 6 a.m. to unload a truck. Why? Because I don't complain. I'm happy to be there.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Monty.
Vito was gonna play the devil's advocate. I'm just going to play the devil. Why haven't you leveraged your 20 years in retail and gotten yourself a higher paying, still retail job? You could be working at, I don't know what, pick a fancy downtown store selling suits, selling cars. That's still retail, correct?
Correct.
You're a good talker, and
thank you.
You have a persuasive personality. You probably move automobiles to the same people you're bitching about that, like, oh, I'm not going to show you where it's in aisle 13.
Clarify that real fast. I've been told for the majority of the last 20 years that I would be a great door-to-door salesman, knife salesman,
If you came to my door,
bar salesman.
You wouldn't be allowed that.
I despise being told that. I hate that. And here's why, Mike. Here's why I hate being told that. Because I refuse to make an effort to try to convince you to buy something I don't believe in. I don't believe that you should have to buy a car.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on.
You want to buy a car? I'll tell you why it's a great car to buy. But I refuse to try to convince you to buy a car. That's not fair to you.
Do you think
you got it all wrong, though, brother?
Yeah. Do you think you're your own worst enemy?
Absolutely not.
Okay, but you don't think that line of thinking has hurt you in some way, shape, or form of making real money?
I'm not a car salesman. It is not my job to convince you to buy something.
Hold on.
I bought a car. I bought a car last September. I didn't necessarily go to the dealership to buy the car.
Okay.
I was still looking, and I was prepared to, but the way I was, I guess, serviced by the dealer, they were professional. They were kind. They weren't selling me anything that I didn't already want to buy in the first place. All I needed was, they were like, it was great. They were welcoming. I could bring my car there anytime, get a car wash. Ben.
Hold on. Everyone can't talk at the same time. Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I am a car salesman. That's what I do. And I'll guarantee you, Mike, I have never once had to convince someone that they needed to buy the car. Ever.
That was an example, Ben. We could be talking about kitchen supplies, or we could be talking about stocks.
Hear me out.
Hold on.
Hear me out.
Of course.
You have to. I need to correct what your vision is of a car salesman and what their job is, because I think if you understood what the job really was, you would find that it is right up your alley, and you'd probably make a lot of money.
Let him talk. Let him talk. Just chill out.
You'd make a lot of money doing it. And it's a car salesman does not convince anybody to do anything, ever. They all come in, they want, just like Mike said, they know what they want, and they just need someone to facilitate that transaction. And they want someone who's kind and courteous and is going to be attentive and is going to handle it from the point they walk in to the time they leave. They're going to be attentive to them and make sure that they're always in contact with them. Just take care of them while they're there. That's all it is, man. And then at the end of the day, they do what you want them to do. You don't have to convince them of anything because they like you. You're a very likable person, and you have the gift of gab. If you just use that for forces of good instead of wallowing in retail,
Ben, I'm not trying
retail's
to.
not
This is the problem. This is the problem. Ben, you just sat there and talked for 2 minutes, and he ignored it.
I'm not talking about car salesmen. That's not what I
Take the car salesman out of it. We're talking widgets.
My father.
We're just talking
Yeah,
widgets.
exactly. Vito's right. Hold on, Mike.
The car salesman. He was great at it. He was the
hold on, hold on.
Mercedes-Benz salesman, and my uncle Sal was
let me ask
too
you
as well.
Let me ask you a question.
In the 60s and 70s.
I think
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about minimum wage.
Mike, stop.
Mike,
Stop.
I'm trying to tell you how to get out of minimum wage.
Yeah.
Like, let's not talk about how to fix
I'm
minimum
not
wage.
talking about me getting out of minimum wage. I'm not talking about me getting out of minimum wage.
why not, though? Why not? Why aren't you talking about that?
What I'm talking about is this. There is no shortage of jobs in the United States of America. What there is a shortage of employers willing to pay the person that's good at what they do.
No, in your job,
specific
in
wage.
your line
I'm not
of
talking
work.
about me working in retail.
Yes, you are.
I'm talking about there is a shortage of employees willing to pay their employees what they are capable of and what they deserve. There's a friend of mine whose name is Jamie. He's 30. I'm going to call him James because he's 36 years old. He
we already know he's Jamie.
He was a TIG welder. I don't know what a TIG welder is. I can't explain what a TIG welder is. When he graduated high school 18 years ago, he got a job making $9.27 an hour. Up to, 7 years ago, he was making $27.90 an hour. The company that he was working for bottomed out. They went out of business.
They were paying him $27 an hour.
To be whatever a TIG welder is.
Right.
Here's the thing. He goes online every single day trying to find a job, and every time he looks for a job, no matter where it is in the world, doesn't matter where it is, all they're offering is they say you must have at least 5 year experience, and they're not offering anything more than $9.50 an hour. The guy's got 20.
Hold on.
Why are you not willing to pay him that $27?
Hold on. It's simpler than that. You could look and say,
line
hold
is the
on,
employers
just
need
chill
to-
out. Chill out. I work for an employer that pays really well, so you need to look in different places.
So do
There
I.
are employers that pay well. I'm
Hold on.
sure there are.
Yes.
But they went on a little bit of a rant explaining like what your skills are and how you fit into sales, not cars. Hold on. See, you're already shaking your head no.
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the
I'm
masses
talking about
as
you.
a general.
I'm talking
As a
about
whole.
you, though.
You're not going to change the world. You alone are not going to change the world. Your
No, of course, I know
voice.
that.
You can be an advocate, and that is fine. All right.
I'm all new
But
to this. I've been
don't
when
you
You gotta
brother
stop
me.
interrupting people, dude. You gotta stop
On
interrupting.
the radio,
brother.
when you
Sorry,
listen,
Mike, go ahead.
it's a volley. It's a volley.
Yeah, you got to get the way this is working. You got to let me finish, and then you can have the court, and don't roll your eyes. Anyway, we're not specifically saying you have to be a car salesman. Like Vito said, it's widgets. You have 20 years experience. There's no reason logically for you have to make minimum wage. It's a choice making. It's choice. You're making a choice. I'm going to work this job. So your argument is very noble. But the woe is me, I'm the little guy, I'm part of the little guy thing is invalid because you have 20 years experience. You have the ability to leverage that into a higher paying position while still being an advocate and a voice for the lower guy. If you choose to do that, you would have more money to make your voice louder, get people maybe organized together. You open your statement seat. You're not a politician. You know what the first thing a politician says?
I'm not
a politician.
A voice.
Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of being able to be a voice or an advocate for somebody who maybe doesn't have the capabilities you do.
Mike, let me ask you a question.
Which Mike?
You, Mike.
I'm Brooks.
Yeah, he's Brooks.
Oh, I'm new to this. Like I said, I've only been kind of after this for like the last 4 or 5 months. Like I said, I'm not a politician, and I appreciate Brooks calling me the voice of the voiceless, even though that just
No, that's for me.
Brooks in my head.
Right. No, that's how we put him over.
Oh, okay.
That's me. That was all for me.
Here's the point that I was trying to make.
Listening for
Like I
4 or
said,
5
I
months.
really cared about this. I'm very passionate about it. I'm very new to this. I'm what you call green. I wrote this stuff down, and here's what I've researched and what I've wrote down. By today's standards, the cost of living, inflation, and or very corrupt government's chicanery, minimum wage is not what it should be. Mathematically, minimum wage should be $22.06 per hour. Now, since Ben Jordan and you got to play the devil, not the devil's advocate, the devil, I'm going to play the devil too, because I'm not going to lie. This is Vito and Ben's show, and I'm honored to be here. I'm not going to suck up. I'm going to tell you how I feel, because this is all coming from the testicles. I'm just telling you how I feel. This is what I have learned. This is what I've researched. This is what I care about. For $22.06 an hour, I guarantee you I would never, ever work 40 hours a week. Not at that. If I was in my 20s like I was, and I was single like I was, and I didn't have kids like I do now, sure, I would work the 40 hours a week. I would take that big fat payday. But now I'm 35, and I've busted my ass for the last 20 years, and I'm done with that. So no.
So you want to work less than 40 hours a week? Am I hearing that right? You want to work less than 40 hours a week?
No, I said Bets, you're not paying attention. If minimum wage was $22.06 an hour mathematically, as it should be with inflation, I wouldn't work those 40 hours a week. I'd take Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays off to be with my family, to travel, to do things with my
That's not how it works, Mike.
And I want to enjoy her. I would be telling them, hey, guess what? I'm 35 years old.
Here's your pathway to that.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Because after Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, 8 hours a day, that's $412 a week. That's $1,651.88 a month that I can live comfortably after.
No, here's what you do then, Mike.
40
You work
hours.
your ass off. You work your ass off for 5 to 10 years.
Market, not employers' market.
Hold on.
Like I said at the top of the program, it's an employer's market, and employers have one excuse and one excuse.
Always an employer's market. This has always
Right.
been the case.
That's how it works, dude.
They have all the risk. You have none.
The employer's
They have
market
all
says
the
this.
risk.
If you don't like it, take it or leave it. There's a
Right.
kid named Steven who no longer works for the company. He started when I did. He was a 17-year-old high school dropout who lived in his grandmother's basement, who liked to play video games, and he liked to drink coffee. And
Can we talk about something different? Because
Okay.
this isn't making any sense. to me.
That's what he liked.
Can
to
I
do.
ask my question that I really
Please.
wanted to ask?
Yes, please.
How long have you been with this company?
Since October 8th.
So 6, 7 months.
And now I'm up for a promotion.
Why do you feel that you're entitled when starting off with a company to be making that amount of money? They know nothing about you. I know you have experience.
Thank you.
But anyone could lie about their experience and say,
Because
I have 20 years. Why do you feel you're entitled to
Because
that
I
much
gave
money?
them a resume and I entitled them. I entitled them to look at my resume, make the phone calls, put in the effort, take the job, do the job, and make sure that I'm exactly what I say I am. Because, like you said, Paulie, you can put, I graduated summa cum laude from Washington, D.C. State University, which doesn't exist, and they'd be like, wow, cool, this guy went to college. But if you actually check it out, you'll know that Washington, D.C. State University doesn't actually exist. So I encourage them, please check me out. Call my former employers. I am.
Let me ask you a question. Out of all this effort and all this work you put into this part, right? And not only that, just the aggravation. Because I even follow you on Facebook. I know you get aggravated about what goes on, and I agree with it. Now, have you ever put an ounce of thought into what else can I do?
As far as
life, how can I make? Because I believe, and I'm what everybody believes, but anybody can figure out something in their lives to be successful. Now, success is multiple levels. I'm not talking money. We're just happy to be talking money because we're talking minimum wage.
Right.
But I'm saying if that's such an issue, instead of spending time hoping and wishing that laws get passed to give you more money, isn't it easier just to find a skill? And I don't mean college. I don't mean I'm saying a skill that you are good at. If you know you can talk, you know you can do all this shit. Yeah, that's why they're saying sales. See, I can't read a book right now and tell you what I read 5 minutes after I read a page. I don't have, my brain doesn't do that. I'm not good at that.
There's no comprehension.
I no and not even a little bit.
And
There's
that's
none.
why
to
I
it.
was
same way.
that's
Yeah,
why I was a
read
terrible
everything.
pro wrestler, because I can't remember spots.
Okay, now there's a difference, right? Memorizing and knowing your stuff is two different things. When I go into a house and I'm selling somebody something, I'm in sales too. And I got to be honest, the first time I took the window out of my car and I was walking up to the door, I felt like a scumbag, right? Now I'm making more money now than I've ever even thought I could possibly make in my life, because I checked my ego and I said, what am I good at? And I'm really good at communicating. I've always been good at communicating. So a few friends of mine were in insurance. I tried that. That didn't work. Ben was in cars, and I'll tell you, if he wasn't down where he was at when I was looking, I probably would have made the jump and worked for him. Mm-hmm. I stuck with this. I learned the skill, and I learned how to apply it to myself, and now I'm making so much money that I don't care what minimum wage is.
And that's great for you.
No, I'm saying, like,
Right.
you should spend your
should
time
want that for yourself.
Right, you should want that.
Not
it's not
just
I'm not
about
bragging.
me.
It is
No,
about.
okay,
No,
now hold on.
Yes.
Hold on, Mike. Here's the deal. Hold on,
There's
Mike.
so many people I work with that I care about that have skills at what
So
they do.
what can you do for them? What can you do for them who they probably don't have your skill set, right? So what could you do for them to help them other than this? Because I'll tell you what, between the four of us on the show here, we all have a little bit of a success story. We've all kind of like found something in our lives that either makes us happy or we are able to find a niche in to like and A, make money, and B, really happy about. And we all have a common mindset here. So we decided, and obviously it was Ben and Vito at first, to start the ITR to get people to listen. That was their attempt to try to like give back, and they were happy to make money and be successful by themselves individually. But then that was their method of like reaching out. Obviously, Brandon got on board. He loves what he does on ITR. We've gone weeks and weeks and weeks without missing shows and had a couple hiccups the last couple weeks. I love it. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary on this show, and I love it. I look forward to every Monday night.
Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. The main point is, though, I also went back to school, and I'm not saying school's for everybody, but I went back, I learned a set of skills, and I'm paid handsomely to apply those skills in a scenario one-on-one with somebody who's hurt, sick, or could just use somebody with a little bit of personality to cheer them up. That is what I smile with one cheek when I see the paycheck, and I get to smile with the other because I know I help people get better. Right. Now, I'm here on ITR to try to show that there's a different world that we live in, trying to explain what's going on. That's how I'm trying to give back. You have those options too. You have a skill set that maybe others don't have. You need to leverage that skill set to help them. That is how you help them the most.
Here's my question. You have the skill.
Do you agree with anything he just said?
Like, you just said.
I mean,
here's my question. You guys are oblivious to every single thing I'm saying.
No,
not at all. Not at all.
Brooks said his niche is the word that Brooks used. Brooks has his niche. Great, fantastic, wonderful. That helps him. Ben Jordan, Mr. Jordan, has his niche that helps him. You have your niche that helps you. Great. Paulie has his niche that helps him.
I have my nips too. I love it.
Man nibs.
How does your niches help these people that I work with who deserve to be paid more, aren't getting paid more?
I have an
deserve
answer.
to be paid more.
I have an answer.
That's who I'm here to talk about. I'm talking about minimum wage, how it needs to be higher, how the governor of
Okay, look here.
Yeah, hold on, Mike.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you realize if everybody was making like how much do you think? $15 an hour? What do you think is minimum wage?
Well,
give me a number.
3 years ago, I was bringing home
give me a number.
$2,000. I was
bringing home spit it out right now.
$2,200 a month.
Give me a number. What should minimum wage be an hour?
I think it should be $15 an hour.
$15 an hour. Okay, so now, let's go with that. So now any business.
Why are you cutting me off? That's my question.
Because just to sit here and listen to the same stuff.
He's the host of the show.
Of course he is.
The host.
When I hear what I believe my listeners are hearing, and the worst thing I can hear is, come on, move on. This show moves like this.
I understand that. I want to know why the governor of Maine can up minimum wage from $7.25.
I want to know how it affects you.
How come governor?
If you're here. Hold on. I want to know how it affects you that you're here. I don't care about Pat Quinn. I want to know you, the individual. My listeners want to know more about the guy. My listeners want to know more about the guy than the history.
It's not about me. It's about everybody in Illinois.
It's absolutely about you because
you're the person.
That's why we're here. That's why you're here. That's why you're a guest.
Inhabit Illinois that should be getting paid more to make ends meet, and they're not.
You need to find a job that works for you.
Hold on.
Hold on.
They're not hiring me.
Hold on.
Hold on. Let's
Ben, go
I'll
ahead.
tell you what,
For the first time, we may have to Dr. Pepper
Hold on.
someone from the
and then
studio.
go into
We're all talking over each other. Look at, I've never had to do this on the show. Ben and I host this show. So when we're
Right.
talking, everybody else needs to stop talking. I've never said that out loud. I've never really had to say it out loud.
It's an unwritten
There's a certain way that the show flows, okay? I want your rants. That's why you're here. You're
I'm here to rant.
You're my favorite person to have on the
Thank
show.
you, my
And
brother. I'm
telling-
humbled.
everybody here agrees. But there just needs to be an on and off switch, because when I keep you on point and I'm getting you to talk from your heart, that's when you're at your best. All this other stuff is not as interesting as you talking in the situation as you.
Vito,
That's all.
you guys are trying to get me to talk about being a car salesman and talking about how this
No.
person
We're
affects
trying to talk about you.
about all these people that I work with that should be getting paid more, and they're not. I'm here
Okay,
to talk
but
about
you're not.
how come Governor Pat Quinn doesn't raise minimum wage to take care of these people
Okay,
who are working
Right.
too.
Okay,
Let me-
great.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let me
hold on.
explain how this works. When people are listening to the radio show, right? When anything, if it's not interesting, what do? You turn it off, right?
Sure.
So if you're just
If I don't
rattling
like the
on,
song, I turn the channel.
if you're rattling on about Maryland and some governor, like, okay, then what? What do you want to do? Do you want us to start a petition? Do you want us to have an ITR petition? Like that's what I would go with.
No,
if
you're
we
the
were doing
radio
it.
host.
I'm more
Explain
asking
to
you.
me why Governor Pat Quinn
Okay.
and Senator Dick Durbin refused to pay our great citizens
Okay.
of Illinois.
I'll tell you.
Because here's
tell
why.
you.
They have
I'll tell you.
corporations that are paying them not to.
Right.
That's why, Mike.
Your-
They're
your
corporations.
job-
George, say it again, please. I missed it. I missed it. Please say it again, please.
Yeah, here's the thing, Mike. Two things.
Yes. Yes.
First of all, slow the fuck down. All right, man. If this was a wrestling match, you're fucking it up because you're not playing the game. When one person is talking, you don't talk. When Vito and I are talking, you don't talk. This is our show. This is what we're trying to explain to you. This is our show. We have to make this flow. You have to play the game, man. If you're going to be in here and you're going to be part of the game, play the game. Or else we're going to have to Dr. Pepper you out of the studio for the first time ever.
Dr. Pepper and you means like if you were on the phone and I'd had enough listening to you, I would ask you, Mike, do you like Dr. Pepper? And usually it throws people off so much they would go, what? And the minute they say something,
Give me a Dr. Pepper, bitch.
Click.
up on them, and then they're gone. Now, we've never done that to anybody in the studio, so we're just saying it's more of a give and take. What's way more interesting, I've said this till I'm blue in the face, what's so much more interesting about you is you, and you don't even understand that. I think that might even be what's interesting about you. So that's why when we're asking you stuff, it's more to get your real response, man. That's all. Because
I'm giving you my real
and then-
response.
so here's the deal.
I was brought here to talk about the Minimum Wage Act. And
No, you're wrong. That's where you're wrong, Mike. You were not brought here to talk about. You were brought here to be yourself and have conversations and talk about you because you are interesting.
right.
We could talk about subjects as they relate to you. Listen, we could talk about subjects as they relate to you. We're not. This isn't political talk. This isn't the Sunday morning roundtable on
Stepping out
politics.
my gimmick.
and check
That's
out.
not what this
What I
is.
came here for.
This is
Vito even
why-
told me. And he
this-
said we're gonna have a lot of fun, and I'm having
Yeah,
a blast, by
this
the
is-
way. So don't think I'm getting hot because Ben, I'm not. And
This is why they.
I'm
Hey,
not-
listen. This is why they can't.
Brooks, I'm having a great time.
This is why they can't keep paying more and more and more because us as consumers, you as a consumer, you want low, right? And we're in a world right now where people can't start jacking prices to pay their employees more. I wish they could. I think everybody should have full everything. So I'm not saying I'm talking reality though. Right now we are in a what's the best price today world, and that's how you're going to get my business across the board. So your Walmarts, your gas stations, your Walgreens,
Your mini marts.
your mini marts. Okay, the service marts of the world, anything
right.
is going to bottom line everybody.
Exactly.
If
That's
you
what I
don't
said
like
earlier.
it, right? If you don't like it, the option is to get out of it.
Right. That's what
It's
I
not.
said.
It's
at the
not.
top
To,
of
it's
the
not
show.
to raise the prices because guess what? If you want $15 an hour, no offense, that the dollar menu is now the $5 menu.
Right.
So you're going to spend it no matter what. So when we give you $5 more than 10, right? 'Cause you want 10 right now.
Right.
Now you're going to go, I need $20 an hour. Then we're going to give it to you. And then you go, God damn it, because guess what? Everything goes up when
Of
your money
course.
goes up.
Absolutely.
The more money that hits the streets, the more money that goes through the banks raises the debt ratio. That's
Sure,
what,
of course.
and that's what changes our money. That's what makes everything valuable and not valuable. So your $5 raise fucks everything up.
So
Do you know
I'm
what
not
I mean?
allowed to talk about corrupt politicians.
You-
I'm not allowed to
all
talk
day
about all
long.
these great people
All
that
day long.
deserve to
The
be
show's
paid.
all about.
All day long. But when I throw you a question of how it affects you, I need a fast answer and then go back to what
How
your
does it
point
affect
is.
me? It doesn't help me out with my child support. It doesn't help me out with my rent. It doesn't put more money in pocket. It doesn't get me a nicer car. It doesn't get me health benefits. It doesn't allow me to walk in a NIMSI to figure out what's wrong with my goddamn heart and go see a cardiologist because it's a dealer's market and the owner's market says this. Take it or leave it. That's what I said at the beginning of the show. That's what they say to you. Take it or leave it. Stephen, that 17-year-old kid who lives in his grandma's basement, he got fired. You know why? Because he was too interested in reading comic books, and he didn't want to say at the end of the show or at the end of the customer transaction, he didn't want to say thank you, be well. I'm still there. You know why? Because I need to support my Sophia. Because I need to pay my ex. And because I need to pay my rent. Because I don't want to be back in Fox Lake. I don't want to be sleeping on a houseboat. So I have to put up with that $8.25. Do I deserve more? Yes, but you know what I'm told by my employers? It'd be great to pay you $10 an hour, but sorry, it is what it is. And if you don't like it, there's the door. That's what it is. That's the bottom line.
The next logical question, Mike, is then this.
And he's back again.
Yeah, the next logical question, if anyone is listening to what you just said and they agree with you, everyone would agree with you, the next logical question is, why do you continue to do it? Why don't you just
pays my bills
else that pays your bills better?
Yeah.
There are so many other options.
Better than no dollars at all.
There are so many options out there that you can make more money at. Why are you refusing? I guess that's the question I don't get.
I'm not refusing. I'm qualified to do one thing in the field that I'm qualified.
Well, no. Why are you limiting yourself? Why are you limiting yourself?
You're your own. You're your own worst enemy at this point now.
Answer that question.
You refuse to
sell cars because I can't sell cars.
It's not
I'm not
selling
going to go
cars.
sell
Not
widgets.
selling cars.
I can't sell that. What I can do is bring you up and tell you, hey, thank you for shopping.
No, you are so much more than that, man.
Yeah, but now you just put yourself in a box. You are in your own box. And
I know what I'm capable of.
No, you don't.
No, you're not. You shortchange yourself so much, man.
Yeah, you really
So
don't
much.
know. And it's not an insult. I saw
I don't want
your
to do the
reaction.
job you guys are asking me to try my hand at.
Anything other than what you're doing.
Yes, I'm asking you.
We never said a
We
job.
try anything else.
You keep finding the negative. We never said a job. We said find what you're good at. I never told you what job.
Retail is what I'm
You're
good
not
at,
good
and
at
I'm
that.
happy.
So, okay,
A monkey can do retail. You're
Yeah,
better than
retail doesn't have to be Walgreens.
Well, the WWE
Retail-
is going to give
retail
me a
could be
contract,
selling
brother, as a
jewelry.
ring announcer.
Retail could be selling $1,000 pieces of jewelry, trying to make a couple happy by offering the great service on an engagement ring. Leveraging your retail experience could be helping a dude buy his first suit. And a man brought his 16-year-old son in for his first dance, and he wants to buy him his first suit. And sorry, dude, you're an egotistical, selfish little cocksucker because you have skills that you're not willing to share with other people because you are in love with being in the dredges, and you refuse to see. You look in the mirror. You have the ability to get out of these things. And if your Sophia is so important to you, then you shouldn't be willing to accept the place that you have put yourself into.
Brooks, if I get out, I'm one person. What about all those other 28 other people that I work with who are amazing and wonderful?
What are they willing to do for themselves?
Here's what we're gonna do now. This is about this time every week. We go to a segment called Bullshitting with Brooks. We're going to change the subject. We're going to go to that right now.
Two most secure places on the planet. I'm a huge fan of the clitoris. Right here, huge fan. Where we are in our nation, and given the times that we're in, where cops are going to have a short trigger finger, a voice to the voiceless.
It's time for Reddit Top 10 with Professor Mike Brooks, better known as Bullshitting with Brooks.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, and if you didn't know, I like to remind you every Monday, it is the 12th of May. Of course, it's Monday night, and as my friend Saul Weinstein used to say, it's a hot and muggy Guam evening. Let's get to the top 5 of your world news subreddit. Number 5. Japanese whalers have restarted operations in the Northwest Pacific only weeks after the United Nations highest court banned Japan's so-called scientific whaling program in the Antarctic.
Yeah, that's awful, man. I watched one of those documentaries on that whaling thing, and this whole thing that they're doing it for scientific purposes is such bullshit because they get them on the boat, they slaughter them, they take the parts that are are valuable, and then they dump the carcasses back into the fucking water while they're out there. They don't use the whole thing. It's awful what they're doing.
And doesn't it seem like a gigantic waste of money too? Because isn't a whole carcass probably more valuable than?
If it was valuable, they would sell it.
Right, but I mean, I mean, you're already dabbling in kind of like the black market. So there's not a black market for whale meat. Because let me be honest, I'm a sushi guy, and if some guy like a known sushi, like if a friend, like, hey man, wink wink, I can get you some whale. I'm in. I don't care what you think about me. I'm in.
Yeah, I tried.
I've had bear. I've had lion. I have llama. I've done that shit, and it's good, people. Shit's good. Number 4.
Well, hold on. I gotta know.
Is that the title of next week's show? It is a 3-worder.
What's your favorite meat that you've ever had, Brooks?
Something like that.
You know what? To be honest with you, there really isn't anything better than a really well done steak. And I don't mean well done like the temperature or cooked, which is like a perfect steak, however you like it. I prefer to kind of like medium rare, kind of sometimes a little bit bloody.
Of young cocks.
That's not true. Courtney Cox. God damn it.
A voice to the voiceless.
Yeah, not right now, pal. You got enemies at the soundboard. Number 4, from our friends at The Guardian in the UK. British police ask blogger to remove legitimate tweet criticizing the UK political party.
Yeah, and there you go. It's just more like, hey, can you not talk bad about us, please? You know,
What, you're not a patriot?
Right. It's censorship. That is censorship, and it's at its best.
It's scary, man, because it's a repeating theme, and we could probably go back and look over the year now that we've kind of, or however long we've done this, and how many stories have we had about people's own governments either coercing or spying on their own people?
Is the British Bulldog coming out?
Can I say something real quick here? I want to pause the show here. I'm so pissed off at the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Because I actually followed what Ben was doing. I went back and watched the old SummerSlams, and he's right about all the tag team wrestling being like meaningful at the time. I now really wish I was from England so I could wear like the British flag on my trunks like at the British Bulldogs, because it was fucking awesome. Nerds, I know. Nerds.
Hey, buddy, there's nothing stopping you from doing that.
There is the fact that I'm not from England. I can't.
Hey, just make it up.
I can't wear the Union Jack.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Brandon Dog Smith.
I don't mean to spoil it.
Hey, is Brandon Dog Smith a show name?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hold on there. Brandon Dog Smith, show name. There you go. Next week's show name, Brandon Dog Smith, right here on IPR.
By the way, while we're talking next week, Saturday nights you can find the Joey Eastman show. The second installment is on fire. The numbers are going up every single second. So people are listening.
Oh man, let me while we're putting that over, I listened to it, folks. If you did not listen to this second episode, the Happy Hour with Joey Eastman, right here on the ITR Live Network. He tells an amazing story about a guy getting murdered outside his house that you have to hear to believe. It's insane that it happened right in front of his house. It's an incredible story. Joey does a great job telling the story. Vito, your sound effects bring it all together. It was a very good segment.
ITR, what we do, Ben, ITR bought, I don't know if we told you this or not, we bought from the NSA, we bought the camera footage. So that's audio. That was straight audio from the scene. I don't know if
that's incredible. That was good how that worked out for us.
Yeah.
So yes, welcome Joey Eastman to the network. I'm going to probably be sitting in with him here very soon. So check it out.
I think it's important that randomly we pop in with Joey. Like it'll be Joey and random ITR guy, you know, and it could be all of us sometimes too. I think
I would enjoy that. I would also enjoy sports jerks, but I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
Tied up.
You know what's cool? The one thing that we do with Joey, it's called What's in the News, and it's like the last duration of the show, whatever that means, if it's 30 minutes or 25, and it's just simply throwing wrestling stories at him and getting his feedback. And his feedback on the wrestling industry is fun. So.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of that as well. I was listening live on my drive home from work, on Saturday and heard some of that. It was very good. So yeah, definitely check out Joey Eastman.
Synergy, folks. Synergy.
He's a very witty fella.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Joey Eastman. I'm a fan of Joey Eastman.
Yes.
Oh,
So I think we stepped all over number 3. Am I
Now we're
right?
moving on to our friends at the British Broadcasting Corporation. Over 540 million people just finished voting in India's month-long. Let me repeat that. In India's month-long general election, the largest democratic exercise in the world to date.
India it is.
India,
That's
it
unbelievable.
is.
Yeah, that's incredible. And seeing those countries, doing something like that and trying some form of democracy is interesting because it's clearly not working out very well here. So, or I guess it is working out well for some people.
Yeah. Not when you take a look at what's going on, like in what they call the caste system in India. How if you think the line between the rich, the mega rich, and the poor are in America is growing or large, over there it is oppressive, and it's something you truly cannot get out of. It is it's truly like it's the odds of winning the lottery or the Powerball here to pull yourself out of something terrible over there. And that includes like forced rapes and marriages and female mutilation and all kinds of stuff. So it's a bad place if you're not a rich person, or at least a moderately wealthy person in India. Despite everything, despite being like one of the most ancient cradles of civilization the world has ever known, we're all fucked up. I'm praying for rain. Number 2, South Korea defense minister says North Korea is not a real country. It exists solely for the benefit of Kim Jong-un and must disappear soon.
Oh, that'll go over well. I'm sure he won't be threatened by that language at all.
Right.
Like,
So what you're doing is you're throwing threats and fancy verbiage at an insane person.
right, a guy who's just going to whip his dick out and go, well, my dick's pretty big too.
Yeah, to a man who has been told since he's born that he is literally the grandson of God himself from birth. That I'm thinking that'll taint your subconscious somehow in a negative way. Just thinking. And hey, we're gonna go on to number 1. Again, from our good friends at the BBC, Brazil police warn visitors, don't scream if robbed.
What? Oh, you gotta read more on that.
Yeah, I looked at the number 1 before we got into it, Ben. So,
thank you.
The World Cup is being held there next month, right? And amongst like several hundred people dying in the construction of like the 17 stadiums that they built down there, that kind of just went unnoticed or at least unreported. I think we've had a couple of different stories on the top 5 or 10 in the past about some of the brutal gang activity that goes on in South America.
And what were the people doing?
Literally butchering people in the streets with machetes. Sounded. Oh wow, you got the footage.
NSA, we have it in at the NSA.
Yeah, the ITR budget always surprises me. So the police have been passing out pamphlets.
That sounds awful.
That does
really
sound
does
terrible.
Awful. Nobody's having a good time there.
No, that doesn't even sound like good bad porn.
Oh, you animals! I hear animals in there.
All right. If she's hot enough, I'm into it.
There you go.
So the Brazilian police have put together a pamphlet of top tips for staying safe during the World Cup next month, with suggestions such as making sure not to scream if someone tries to rob you. Quote, do not react, scream, or argue, says the brochure, which will be handed out by Brazilian embassies and consulates. The idea is apparently to warn visitors not to provoke robbers into further violence and avoid the increasingly common crime of latrocinios, or robbery that ends in murder. Tourists come mainly from Europe and the United States. We do not see this crime very often, says Mario Letty, who is in charge of World Cup security in Sao Paulo. So, they're having the Olympics too. They're having the Olympics too. So let's get more of a world population in here. Slaughter them.
It sounds awful in Brazil.
They really fucked up because there's some really beautiful beaches and women there.
Every time you think they're gone, there's more screaming.
That guy's not having a good time.
At all.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is your World News subreddit top 5 for Monday, May 12th. The year of our Lord, 2014.
So hey guys, have you guys heard this story about David Benoit and his pro wrestling debut? Did anybody read anything about this?
And I think I think Chris Jericho is. Thank God he did what he did. Put it that way.
So let me read the story for everyone that may not have heard it. David Benoit's pro wrestling debut, which would have him work a tag team match with Chavo Guerrero, was canceled after Chavo backed out. Chavo did so because he found out that Benoit doesn't have any formal wrestling training. Chavo was lied to by Hart Legacy wrestling promoter Smith Hart about his training. Chris Jericho, who has been in contact with Benoit since the family tragedy in 2007, was, quote, furious that Hart had booked him without experience and contacted the promotion. He complained about hearing that Benoit was set to wrestle at the event in July. He tried to get the match stopped, which led to Chavo backing out. Smith Hart told 2 different stories to Chavo and Jericho. He told Jericho that there was never any plans for Benoit to wrestle, just to be part of some sort of angle. He told Chavo that Benoit had training. It remains to be seen if Benoit actually appears at the event. It may be canceled completely now that Chavo is no longer a part of it and information about the situation has leaked. Benoit enrolled in Lance Storm's school in Canada, but never showed up to his first day and was never trained. He also contacted Triple H and William Regal about joining WWE, but he was told to finish high school first. Lance Storm's school was recommended since it was close to him. So, interesting story. And my question is, guys, how do you feel that, Brooks, how do you think that Vince McMahon would handle that? Do you think he obviously wouldn't be David Benoit, right?
You can't, right? I mean, you've gone to such lengths to distance yourself from that name, the legacy that is. I understand, like, the network's not, and they're doing the right thing there. But it's only because it's been how many years? Like, if they did the network 2 years after the Benoit thing, they'd have to blank him out, and they couldn't show matches and blah blah blah. But I think actually, out of all the things that I'd like to give Vince McMahon shit for, this is yet another one that he's actually handled 100% correctly, if you ask me.
Ben, I can't hear you, Ben.
Yeah, we just lost Ben. I thought it was me.
Hello. I'm sorry.
There you are, Ben.
Yeah, sorry about that. So you're saying you think Vince handled the Benoit thing properly? Did I hear you right, bro?
Okay, now obviously the fiasco of the Monday Night Raw, where they obviously didn't know what actually, you can't fault them for that. Even though it's funny because you go back and you see the William Regal thing, like he knew something was up. There's the several reactions from like people that avoided saying that he was like a good man, and then there were people on that show that cried about it.
Yes, there were certain guys that looked like babies. Yes.
Yeah. Sky Point for Owen Hart too, because you knew him. Anyway, how else could have Vince done it? I mean, he made the immediate oh my God, this is terrible, we're horrified. The severing and the distancing. If they brought him in, celebrate what? He's one of the Benoits.
No, you can't celebrate him. You can't celebrate him, but cut him out like he didn't exist for a long time. Now, when the network came out, they got it right. They haven't fucked with the footage at all when it comes to Chris Benoit. Thankfully, they finally came to their senses as far as that. But up until this point, the cutting him out and really editing like nitros to edit the commentary out where they even talked about him, that just seemed over the top. It just seemed over the top. And liken it to O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson, the NFL doesn't stop showing O.J. Simpson highlights because he murdered his wife and Ron
Well,
Gold.
did they, like 2 years after the murder? They sure did. You didn't see the NFL say anything about OJ, and that's kind of what the WWE did. And it's only through
May I
the
say something?
Yes, that's why you're here.
As a professional wrestling fan, when it comes to Chris Benoit, just for me, I'm not speaking for anybody else on the planet. When it comes to Chris Benoit as a wrestler, in the ring performer, I thought he was one of the greatest of all time. I thought his matches were fantastic. He worked very hard. He told a great story. What he did outside of wrestling, when he walked that aisle, when he was in the locker room, I don't care about that. What he did at home, that's tragic. It's unfortunate. I'm not talking about that. I'm not discussing that. I have no opinion on that. My thing, personally, about Chris Benoit, the wrestler, is if you're going to show his matches, show them in the entirety. Show the ECW, show the WCW, show the New Japan,
They
show
are.
the Puerto Rico, all that.
That's what's on the network.
On the network, they have all that now.
But don't cut out the broadcast where you have Tony Schiavone saying this man is going to be a great.
They stopped
a
doing
great
that.
They stopped doing that. They only did that in the wake of the event.
The
Oh,
network,
excellent. Yeah.
nothing is cut out.
Oh, good,
Nothing.
good.
They
In
fixed
new,
it.
yeah,
That's
in
like,
new
I'm glad they
releases,
kept with that.
in current releases, it is not edited, and that's
Yeah.
right. It
Oh,
is
that's
enough time.
fantastic. Was a great, amazing performer in the ring. He was fantastic, and I give him credit. The personal thing, I'm not talking about that at all. That was tragic and horrible.
You're able to separate the man from the wrestler,
The
and
performer from
So,
The murderer.
Right, let me ask
Yeah.
you. All right, so back on the Benoit story, Vito. I wanted to get your opinion on this. You were sidetracked there for a second. That's why I went to Brooks first. I did want to get your opinion on this. Your opinion on the David Benoit situation. My question is, how does he doesn't get to be David Benoit? Let's say he turns out to be a really good wrestler, and the WWE signs him, and they put him on TV. He's not going to be on TV as David Benoit, right? No way.
Well, I mean, it's really hard to say. Does he go out? Is he in the next 10 years? Does he become Daniel Bryan on the Indies? I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what his path is. I mean, he's a skinny kid. I mean, he's like a skinny kid. So
I'm just saying. Let's say he's got the magic, and he's got
Okay.
his dad's fucking magic, and he's that good. He gets there. Do they? He's not David Benoit.
I think
Michael McGillicuddy Jr. or something.
I think 10 years from now they might. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would think no, but I don't know. But here's the deal. I think Bruce Hart or whichever Hart's running a Hart
Smith
legacy
Hart, right?
is a piece of trash, right? Because like he was, you know what he was doing. He was just getting the the rub off this, right?
Right. Yeah, he just wanted to try to make money off of it.
Yeah, and again, I think all that's great, but isn't the right move to train him, teach him, nurture him in the business, run him around the little indies locally or bring him to the States and do a little thing, give him to Harley, right, and then pass him through and then make that kind of stamp on him, not try to make $50 off of him on the first possible day to make money on him? I mean, does any of that work into anybody's fucking thought process?
Right. No, and it goes back to the fact that the Harts are it's a Carney family, man.
Scumbags. Yeah, they're scumbags.
They're a Carney family when it comes right down to it. That's what they are.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely.
So we're coming up here at the top of the hour. Is it time for Mike Phillips? We're going to do it live?
Yeah, I actually got to set that up. I'm sorry I wasn't prepared. Why don't we, Mike?
Movie quote.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, we have a movie quote, and I want to go back to Mike for a second. You don't have it ready to go when we go to the goddamn movie quote?
Grab a beer. Don't cost nothing.
All right. Thanks, Brandon.
Paulie.
Brandon, yeah.
No, that's Brandon.
Yeah. Anyways, so we cut you off a little bit, and I know you're still kind of hot to trot about it. So I'd rather have you finish.
I'm over it, brother.
I'd rather have you finish what you wanted to get out because I did bring you here. I told you that your agenda could come out. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. No, there's nothing to say because Ben's point to me was irrelevant to me. Brooks's point to me was relevant to me. I'm not talking about me. They can't get it through their heads. I'm talking about people like me.
We talk about it?
I'm talking about all the people that I work with in retail, so I get a shot. Okay, I'm one person. What about everybody else in the state of Illinois? Where's their payday?
Hey man, what about
30 years
people in
I
Indiana?
work with named Anita, who's awesome. She had a job working for the company I worked for as a advocate for a greeting card company. They said, you know what? We don't have room for you anymore. So they busted her out of her spot. They're like, yeah, you're not going to make $11.25 an hour anymore. Sorry for your 19 years worth of dedication to us, but if the company you're representing feels sorry for you, maybe they'll give you a job. We gave her a job. Guess what? She's got 30 years experience. She makes $8.25 an hour. And you know what my superior said? I don't mean the people I work with at my store, because they're awesome, they're amazing, and they're trying to help everybody wherever they can. My superiors said, take it or leave it. That's been the norm around here since 2010. You don't like
The
it.
norm around here from zero.
Yeah, from the beginning of time, that's been any.
It's not always been that way.
Yes, it has.
Decent people who understand their employees, who work hard, who give a shit, who bleed, who sweat,
Those
pay the price. And I don't mean to
exist.
quote Ric Flair.
Those places exist, man.
I
Costco.
know, and I happen to have a boss who's really good to me. His name is Darren. He comes to my wrestling shows.
cares?
We go drinking together. And
Who
guess what? He
cares?
said, hey, man, you know what? When you go home at midnight and I
Darren.
call you up at 5 to
Who
tell you that
cares?
the truck's coming in at 6, and 2 people called in sick because they don't want to do the truck, and you come in, listen, there's a promotion coming up in 2 months. I'd like to offer you the position. So I'm going to apply for the position. That'll better me. That's great. Okay, if I get it. What is that going to do for the other people I work with who are still
Be a
working?
politician. If you're
25 an hour?
concerned about everybody else, be a politician. If you're that concerned, then that's your calling.
No, because I don't need to whip my Johnson out and say, hey, I'm better than you, vote
But
for
that's
me.
what you're doing here.
That I don't try to sell anybody Band-Aids or socks, because I should never have to be put in that position where I have to convince you to buy a product that I'm not interested in selling you.
No,
That's
but
not fair
you're
to you.
trying to advocate for people, and that's what a politician's supposed to do.
My advocacy is this. We need to get raised in minimum wage, just like all the other states that are doing it right now. There's people talking about no Social Security coming up for them. There's people talking about no health care. There's people talking about needing to go to Canada to get cheaper pills or Mexico to get cheaper medicine. There's a whole bunch of problems, and the problem is it's not my problem. The problem is it's the government's
Why are you
problem.
making it your problem?
Because I care about everybody getting screwed, because
even
I'm
if you're-
one of them.
it's your problem or
I'm
not.
one of them.
I know, and that's what I wanted to ask you about your experience in it, and then you didn't want to talk about it. You thought that we were being dicks about it. I just don't want it tomorrow. I
don't
want
think
you
you're
to be like,
Mr. Jordan or damn it, Brooks is being. I want to call him Mike, but he won't let me. Is being a dick. That's why I'm on this program, because I need some. I'd rather have you guys here on a syndicated radio show giving me insight than being stuck at a bar where people are going to beat the crap out of me with beer bottles.
We might do that.
At least
yeah,
I'm
we
from-
might. I do have.
Thanks, Paul.
I do have.
And I've been calling you Paulie since you walked through the door. I didn't drop the B word once.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
I could absolutely do that too. Yes, beer bottles.
I could use them.
That sounds like fun, actually.
Yeah. No. Okay. So, that's my point, though, man. I find most people that don't want to actually, I guess you say, be successful. I don't want to say make money, because I don't think it's being successful. Just being successful. They find reasons that they're not successful instead of finding something that they're good at.
Sure.
And that goes across the board. And sometimes you just have to go to places and put your time in and get promoted. Now, I'm sure a place like you're not saying where you work, right?
I'm not allowed to.
Then, yeah. So that kind of place, though.
I will tell you that it's
Hold
a
on.
pharmaceutical retail store that's not CVS.
I guarantee that a majority of the management came up starting as being a cashier.
Absolutely.
So you need to network and find out how to promote up through that place. Not just wonder why minimum wage sucks, or run for office and try to change things locally. Other than that, you don't have much of a choice.
And like Ultimate Warrior says, stop masturbating your fantasies.
Masturbating your fantasies is not mastering your fucking life.
Right.
Nice.
So true.
By the way, that CD has changed my life.
Yeah, have you just been sitting there listening
Oh,
to it?
that's I mean,
Well, fellas, I think I heard another show name in there.
Oh yeah, wait. Did you? Well, call it out.
Well,
I'm listening. Show name Masturbating Your Fantasies.
there you go.
Yeah, that is 3 words.
yeah.
That may be next week's show name.
It always turns out like which one's the better one. That's it, and then everything else just goes haywire.
Just so all you gentlemen know, I am having a trip right now. This is the best time.
All right. I just
I'm
don't want
loving being here.
I don't want the call tomorrow that you corner me. This
No,
is how
no,
this
no.
is how the show is. We're aggressive, man.
You said I could bring this.
Yes.
I brought it. I thought it out. I worked hard on it. You let
Right.
me read every single word that I had written down, every comma, every apostrophe. I thank you. I'm having a great time. I'm hanging out with the Tomaselli brothers. How often does that happen?
Hey Ben, let me ask you a question. Are you able on your end to invite people up in the corner and type in a phone number? See when it pops up, invite people. I can't add a phone number. Can you? There'll be like a little blue font that says add phone number.
No, I don't see that on mine.
It's there every other time I've done any Google testing whatsoever, and now I can't make a phone call from here. I don't know why that is. Let me see. Is there any other way?
And I'm not looking to mark out. I'm just going to say this. Last week, Vito was on the air for that 5 seconds of show we had, and he was talking about how he shaved his head for the summer, and then he lets it grow. And Paulie was talking about the same thing. I was looking at Vito's hairstyle. I'm like, I'm going to do that, but I look at this poster on the wall of Acid, the original Acid, the real Acid. And I saw
was there a different one? Was there an original?
And I said, man, I want that hairstyle. So I went out when my daughter had her play on Wednesday, and I got my hair done just like that because of Acid. I miss him. I hope everything's good for him. I hope everyth's well. So
You should give him a call sometime.
He makes a lot of money because he applied his skills.
I haven't seen him in 15 years.
Takes care of his family.
Wait, what did he say, Brooks?
He makes a lot of money because he applied his skill set in a positive manner, and he takes care of his family.
He's had that same job forever, no?
Yeah, he makes a lot. No, he does well, and it affords Kate to stay home and raise their child. And
Did they have their second kid yet?
I haven't heard. I don't know if is that something they wanted? Because that would be great. Because I really can't think of like two better people to raise a child.
Yeah, no, I don't know what they wanted. I talked to him right when it was still before the 20 weeks of we're not really telling people, but this was it had to be a year ago at this point. Or
oh wow, okay, yeah, I'm that guy, so I'm not on Facebook.
He's not on Facebook. You got nothing going on.
I know he's that.
He's your Facebook.
Are we ever gonna get the story of why you took yourself out of the Facebook world?
It's why? What? It's actually been pretty liberating, to be honest with you. It kind of started as an experiment, a little bit of a break from a bit of drama and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I went from missing it literally, stop drinking coffee. Okay. But by the second or third day, you're like, yeah, I need that cup of coffee, and especially. In what I do, sometimes I'm in a surgery case. Well, I won't be needed for 45 minutes. I just gotta sit there. So what do? You go to your phone, right? And what you check your Facebook and you look at shit and you pop it. And it got a little bit but now almost 3 months out, 2.5 months out, it's actually great.
Well, it was just weird for me with you because you literally put up all those pictures of the polar plunge.
Yeah.
An hour later, no more Michael Brooks.
I guarantee I'll be back
You're watching down to the minute, huh?
I'll be back on when I re-register for the Polar Plunge next year, and I'll be shilling for donations, and I'll probably just go away after that too. It's just what I don't. How do I say this without being a dick?
Just say it.
I don't care what you're fucking doing. I don't care what you're fucking doing. If I care, then I'm checking it out on my own and not electronic. I'll send you text or I'll blah 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 blah. But you know what? I don't. It just.
I purposely don't talk to Brooks by texting, seeing how he's doing, because I know we'll be blitz every month.
No, I think that's the lamest. When people say that too, if I want to know about you, I'll know about you. I bet there's so many things now that people tell you, and you go, "Oh, no kidding, that happened."
Absolutely. And you know what? I'll be honest. A little bit of it, maybe even a lot of it, involved me just wanting to kind of disconnect from, just for a while.
I get it. Hey, look at that part's cool. That part's totally cool. It's more just I don't know.
I know it's weird.
Social networking is important.
There are things, trust me, there are things that I see that I'm like, oh, that would be great. I'll post it. I'm like, I see stories or pictures or memes or stuff. I'm like, that would be great. That'll get me a bunch of likes or some comments. But I've started using my Twitter a little bit more to post some of those things.
Well, your shit. What's the Twitter, bud?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. It is my name. It is MICHALBROOKS. I have my name. My phone. Yeah. Thank you.
Voiceless.
Yes. And I'm particular about who I let in, but the stuff that I post is usually
are all your tweets private unless you are friends? You're that guy,
dude. Okay, yeah, no. Oh yeah, I'm that guy because people and a friend requested me who are impersonating me.
Who cares? Who gives a shit?
I do. It's weird. Yeah, you're like, oh, who cares? But it's weird when somebody has
a lot like
handle like X Mike Brooks 20X.
A lot like the
CM Punk like miss you, bro.
A lot like the CM Punk saga that came out this week. That he
Yeah, thank you. I thought we were gonna. I hope we weren't gonna avoid this.
What?
Segue. Mike Brooks. That's so great. Mike Brooks, I tell you, is scared of those same people. They're all coming after him. They want to be him.
Right. The story, if no one's heard it out there in ITR land, story comes out this week. A friend of his, an ex-girlfriend who is still a friend.
A friend of who?
Friend of wrestler CM Punk. Sorry, yeah, I guess we didn't actually name him. A friend of pro wrestler, I guess ex-pro wrestler CM Punk, about how horrible it is that he can't go to Walmart, or he can't go to the grocery store, or he can't go to the movies, or he can't just go outside without someone waiting by the dumpster by his house. Fame is so overwhelming that his life has just been overrun, and we should all feel bad for him.
Isn't it what we've always wanted? I mean, that's what I've always wanted, is to be that inconvenienced. I would love for people to be knocking on my door going, can I just get an autograph, a picture with you? That's what I've always wanted my entire life. Oh, I feel so bad for you, Phil. Suck it up, bitch. Guess what? Some of us don't get paid a lot of money. Some of us get $50 a show, and we're told, hey, you're going to lose in 3 seconds to a girl named Dana Diva, and you're going to get paid $15. Guess what happens? You do it. You know why? Because this is professional wrestling, you dumbass. This is what you fought about your entire life. This is what you wanted since you were a little kid, playing with the LJA wrestlers. This is the type of promo you were looking for, right, Vito? Now you got it. That's how I'm pissed off, brother.
Never had those.
Yeah, I'm talking about this. Fuck you, Phil Brooks, you asshole. I'll never get a WrestleMania moment, you cocksucker. You piece of shit. I get $50 from Ronnie Vegas. I get $100 from Jimmy Blaze. And I will never be in the main event of WrestleMania for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight title or World Wrestling Entertainment title, you idiot. Oh, sucks to you.
Time
Change your panties, honey, and put on a new pair of pumps. Because guess what? It's a new day, and your time is over. Your 15 minutes of fame are up. And guess what? There's another person. And after that guy, there'll be another person. And after that guy, there'll be another person. First there was Hogan. Then there was Savage. Then there was Warrior. Guess what? Your time is up. Enjoy the money you made and go live your life, because nobody's going to miss you come Monday morning when everybody has to go to work and everybody has to pay taxes and some people have to bury other people and some people are getting married and some people are making babies. You are going to eventually be what everybody becomes, and I'm one of them too, an afterthought.
Let me wait, time out. You said something very significant in that whole rant, which was amazing, by the way.
Thank you, Paulie.
Jimmy Blaze pays you $100?
Yeah, I've been here 18 years, man. I deserve it.
I'm going to text that motherfucker right now because I need a pay raise for the next time.
You know what?
Oh, thanks, Paulie. That's what that was all about?
Yeah, that's
Paulie.
fucking bullshit. I got 11 years.
Paulie, I don't
I've got
work for-
18.
I don't work for Jimmy Blaze, but in your text, tell
No,
him.
you've done it.
I want a raise.
That's better than me.
Let's be honest. None of us have really.
I want a raise.
Hey,
Fuck no, I'm being a dick
let's
here.
be
Paulie's
hold
better
on,
than me.
Hold on, let's be
He
honest.
is better than me.
None of us are really in the wrestling business.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
So.
He's still better than me.
Mm-hmm.
No, sure.
Anyways, so where were we?
Right, Paulie?
Bullshit,
Boom.
Mike.
Boom. What were we at? Movie court.
We did that.
What's the answer?
Grab a beer. Don't cost nothing.
Well, I don't know that. Anybody know that? Mike, know that?
No, I never know the movie quote. I'm the worst in the history. If we did this and I had to give an answer every week, I would be the worst in the history of this game.
not
I'm
Dazed
never
and
right
Confused.
once.
It's not Dazed and Confused.
I think I'm worse
Billy
than
Madison.
Nope. Grab a beer. Don't cost nothing.
Problem child.
Nope. Animal House. Right when they walk in, right in the beginning, it's Belushi. After he got done pissing on their shoes,
You're
they walk-
Belushi.
they
That's
walk-
an awesome movie.
Grab a beer. Don't cost nothing.
Yeah,
Then
it is a great movie by far.
I
Yes.
gave my
But
lip.
so none of us feel sorry for CM Punk, right?
No, I can't.
I do. No, I'm serious. I do.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him at all.
To go through life with that kind of hate inside of you has got to be an awful thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's roses. I'm just saying I don't feel bad for anybody that has success and their biggest complaint in life is their success. I can't hear that.
Honestly, then you live in the third biggest city in this country. There are things that you can afford to do if you wanted to disappear. then
Yeah.
don't appear in headlines. Don't show up at the Hawks games. Don't shoot the puck. Don't throw out the first pitch. Don't do all these things to keep yourself in the public eye. Disappear. Go hang out in Reykjavik, Iceland. for a couple
Wyoming.
weeks.
Live with Bill Munoz. No one will find you.
Yeah,
Go
you
start
can
first section.
disappear.
Sign an
You
autograph
can
for Bill
disappear.
Myers.
You can disappear if you want to. You want to go be Batman and Bruce Wayne, who, by the way, didn't murder his parents. You can go ahead and do that. But to walk the streets of the third largest city in this fine country of ours, you can't complain, man. It's all right.
Yeah, it's
You
what
take
you
public
signed up for.
transportation. You're
It's
a
so
public
typical. I'm sorry, Brooks. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's so typical of him to have this attitude too, to want to achieve it, and then once you achieve it, hate that you achieved it. It's so him.
I wanted fame and the world title, and I got it. I can't go to the Walmart.
Yeah,
He's like the girl. He's like the girl that I'm saying
So
this.
much funny. He could go to Target.
He's like the girl that looks at the guy who just fucked her, who's getting up, putting his clothes on, is about to leave, and she looks. You're not going to spend the night, and the guy just looks at her and goes, "You knew what this was."
You knew what
I got a
this
funny
was.
story
Isn't
like
that
that.
an episode of Life on Top?
It is now. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but it is now.
So there was this older female I was hanging out with for a minute.
Cougar?
Not the cougar, but a cougar. I'll tell you who afterwards. You know.
Give me initials.
Yeah, you wouldn't know the initials.
Okay,
Let's just say it was someone's aunt.
Okay.
So she wouldn't let me have sex with her, which is okay, whatever, that's fine. I pulled the Donovan.
Which is?
Can I just jerk off on your tits? And I'm waiting for it, because listen, at the end of the day, this is a last resort. So you got to do something, right? So
Amen.
I get the, well, yeah, that's fine.
Of course.
I get down to business, and she's helping me out and doing gimmicks and swerves, and I blast my load, and I'm like, all right, well.
Hold on. Gimmicks and swerves. Show name.
So I finish, and okay, so now it's like, all right, I got to get the fuck out of here, because now I'm done.
Because
Like,
now the poison's left
yeah,
the building.
poison's left the building, like, but I still finished, so that's fun, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh, what am I going to do? I'm like, I got to coach.
No, the rule a long time ago was as long as you're not by yourself, it's a bonus.
Right, but I wanted to go the fuck home. Like, I was
Of course.
done. So I'm like, oh, hey, I got to coach in the morning. That's fine. I'll wake you up. Oh, okay, shit, that's not going to work. You know what? I don't have my CPAP machine. I'll die if I don't have my sleep apnea machine. I got to go home. Hightailed it the fuck on out of there, and I never talked to her.
Feats don't fail me
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so that, blort, blort, blort.
Is that you running down the street? Like he gets out the door, he gets to the sidewalk, he turns the corner. Yeah, gets to the other block, turns left, turns right, jumps a car. He's almost home, finds a skateboard, rides the rest of the way home.
It is so damn true. How do you get your information?
NSA, dude.
Oh my God. That's way too much. I love that screaming thing. That's hilarious. Okay.
Do we
Good.
have Storm Maverick this week?
He's trying. I sent him an invite, and he just can't figure it out. I don't know. I don't know what to
Hello,
tell you.
it's your boy, Storm Maverick.
Yeah, he wants to do it live. He's been texting me around the clock. Yeah, here. If you want, we can just he'll only be able to talk to me. No, I said we can call him on the phone and just speak or him, but I don't think that works either. Wait, that was a noise. Where did that noise come from? It's all new to me. This whole thing's new. Add people. I've added them and I've sent them a request. Let me see if I can do it again.
Stiz or Miz.
Yeah.
So now people can watch us have technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Awesome.
right. Everybody wins. Oh, bye, Ben. Ben just got
Beat it, Ben. Beat it, Ben?
No,
Yeah.
we got too many fucking show names for next week already.
Hey, Ben, do you like Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
Pepper, bitch.
Come on, guys, get me back on the air.
I'm the host. I'm one of the co-hosts.
I'm a founder of this. I'm a founding father of ITR Live.
This is terrible. He's gonna be so pissed when he hears this when he's driving over work.
He'll be back.
Hey Ben, lick my balls. I did that on purpose.
Yeah,
This is producer Brandon talking, by the way.
Yeah, just so we know who it is. If it's Paulie or Brandon, Paulie or Brandon. So here, by the way, we're trying to get Mike Phillips to come in. I think I've sent him a request now. There's just a whole lot going on, and I don't really know what is really going on. So do we just go to Paulie's perceived history, and I try to figure this out?
It's our maiden voyage in Hangout, so there's some stuff to be worked out. But I'll tell you, folks, this is on our end. This is great, and the YouTube feature, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I hope everybody likes it. So here we go, Paulie's perceived history.
Paulie's perceived history.
It's time for Paulie's perceived history on In the Rotation. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
May the 12th, 1792. It's the first flushable toilet has been patented on this day.
Standing ovation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the toilet.
In 1928, Mussolini ends women's rights in Italy. I just want to... No clap. Okay.
Go ahead.
It's not as cool as the toilet.
Yeah, not as cool, yeah.
I'm only kidding. On a more serious note, in 1942, 1,500 Jews were gassed at Auschwitz on today.
That is a little bit more serious.
Yeah, this is my serious face.
I guess speaking of this, this does bring. I listened to NPR a lot, and this guy wrote a book about how, like, not saying what they did was right, but the actual how the Nazis got these Jews to get on these trains willingly and basically go to their deaths. And basically, what it turned out was they were telling these people, hey, you guys are in danger. We're here to help you. Get on these trains. We're going to take you to safety. And everyone just got on the trains, and they didn't know that that's where they were. They were going to their death. And they were getting dropped off at these death camps.
Yeah, but hold on. What about when they're all shirtless in the videos we see? It seems like they all know what they're doing when they're standing in line. At that point, they know then?
No,
yeah,
once
they're at the camp,
it was a gas shower.
No, this is how they got them on the trains to get them to the camps.
Oh, once they're there, then let me ask a question. Do you think they waited till they got them on the train, then they go, I have an announcement to make?
It was a little bit of
No, because even worse, because they said it'll be only a short, because they got like audio, or they got like they got a copy of what these generals were supposed to read to these people as they were getting on the train. And it was, we're taking you to safety. It will be only a short trip. Women and children first. Men, make sure your women and children get on, and then you get on after them. Blah, blah, blah. Boom, shut the door. 4 hours later, they open back up, and they're at a concentration camp, and they go, get the fuck out.
And they couldn't bring anything on the trains with them. It was, hey, we have a special car for all your baggage, all your luggage, everything that you hold sacred that you want to take with you, and it'll be returned to you in peace after we get you to freedom. And they're like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Nope.
And that's why everyone always says, if they'd only had guns, they could have fought back. No, these people were tricked. They were tricked into giving up their freedom.
Tomfoolery.
So there you go.
1984. Nelson Mandela sees his wife for the first time in 22 years. Also on this day in 1984.
Wait. You're passing over like the biggest conjugal visit in history.
I thought she was trying to have him killed at one time.
What?
Didn't his wife try to have him killed at one time?
That's news to me.
Winnie Mandela?
Breaking news here on
Winifred, or whatever her name is?
Nelson Mandela was once scheduled to be killed
by his wife.
News at 11.
Question. I don't know. I was asking.
No, I don't know. I have not heard that.
I'd never heard that.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about the man himself. I know about the history and the myth and that stuff. And
right on.
But I don't know much about him outside of that.
Okay, so on the same day in 1984, Mandela was getting it in for the first time in 22 years.
Yeah.
We were in the push room, if you will.
Yeah.
Texas Tornado beat Ric Flair for the NWA Championship.
Oh, standing eye. Give a round of applause for that. Nice. Yeah, Texas.
In Dallas, Texas. I watched the first Clash of Champions because they put all the Clash of Champions, even though I already had them on disc.
Loving them. It doesn't matter though. On your phone, it's not the same thing, man. It's just not. It's way better. You can flip through stuff. You can watch stuff. The minute I want the TVs from that 89 to
I know. God, that'd be so
companies.
great.
I want that weekly TV.
Yeah. The
Can I
wrestling
ask you a question, Vito?
I'll never leave the television set.
When you're watching those Clashes of Champions, as
Yes.
they're coming down that aisleway, don't you think somebody would have realized that silver curtain is holding up a slanted WCW
It's
sign?
so good.
It could have been a little higher.
It doesn't
more
even matter to me. That's how good that.
That's
product
always
is.
bothered me.
Yeah, that's that.
Oh, man,
that
it's
little-
all so good. I watched Clash of the Champions 1, Ric Flair and Sting for a 45-minute draw.
Forget it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sting and Ric Flair had such awesome chemistry. They were meant to wrestle each other. Those two, they need to do the complete, 3-disc Ric Flair versus Sting anthology. Now that they have him in the fold, get it done. Get it done while Ric Flair's still
all
alive.
night just to buy that.
Wait, Sting's in the WWE?
If you were on Facebook, you know this asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't debuted yet.
He hasn't debuted yet, but yes, he is going to be. He filmed something about the Ultimate Warrior. He has like a Legends contract of some sort.
Okay, so it's a Legends deal.
If you're Sting and you're 47 years old or 55, whatever he is, how do you show up at the Performance Center and be like, "Hi, I'm here to work out"? He's Sting. He's already done it all.
He's not
Yeah.
going to NXT. Mike.
Yeah, there is no chance of that.
Oh, by the way, we need you to spend 6 months in Florida.
Yeah, hey Sting, we believe you need to work with Bill DeMott a
And you're
little
only
bit.
getting $7.50 a week, kid.
Could
Sorry.
you imagine them like offering him juice and we need to get you on the stuff, man, because you're a little
Unbelievable.
Sting. And I want the blonde-haired Sting. And you know what I want? That's
That guy's dead.
That ship has sailed.
Last but not least, in 1997 today, RVD debuted on Raw as a ECW wrestler, which is kind of cool, as they were really first introducing ECW to the mainstream, and he worked Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's your
Sabu jumped off the Raw.
Fuck yeah. Was the A, right?
Hey, by the way, Ben, now that you're back from Peru or wherever you were at, I can actually read your name and tag under you.
Oh yeah, good.
Oh yeah, it's much better.
We're getting together. Good. Slowly but surely.
Right at the end of the
That's good enough. Well, folks, tune in this weekend, the Joey Eastman Show, the Happy Hour with Joey Eastman. Check it out on the ITR Live Network. We will be back here next week at 8 p.m. on Spreaker.com as well as YouTube. You'll be able to check us out, see the show as it happens. We'll be back with episode 91. Fellas, it was nice to know you.
Joking Randy Savage, I'm looking for satisfaction. I got to have satisfaction. I want satisfaction, and I damn sure gonna get satisfaction.